Okay, so I want to put this on my channel just to document this. So I apologize that this is probably even more unprofessional than my other videos, but hey, I just got to put it out there before I forget. And the reason why I forgot about mentioning this is because I never really cared to challenge the change in Paul Niemeyer, my father's trust. I thought it was a will, but I guess it was his trust. And he was advised to put it in a trust by the likes of Robert Cohen, the guy that called me a whore on the streets, basically. I think I have another video on this particular channel. This guy, and I never talked to the guy before, ever. I've never actually interacted with him. But what I wanted to say before I forget is that shortly after I told Paul Niemeyer, I didn't cuss him out, but I basically told him what I thought of him as a deadbeat dad, because apparently he was mad at me for taking up my sister, that he said nasty things about her image, the way she sat on his furniture, her husband. I don't like either one of them. My mother and I never liked either one of them. We didn't really like the way my mother had so much money stolen from her over the years, over my disgusting sister. One of the most unattractive, unappealing people I've ever known, but she was still my sister, and I had no affection towards the likes of Paul Niemeyer. He was a deadbeat dad, never paid child support, and I never wanted to defend him to himself. I never wanted to give him credence. So I defended my sibling and her nasty ass, racist, bigoted, and she became like him not too soon after they met, bigoted piece of garbage, the likes of Michael Boschel. I even took up for him when Paul Niemeyer talked bad about him. What had happened was, I think because of that, I really started thinking about the way this guy acted around us whenever we visited him in 2018. Didn't want us to be around him. The way his body language was, the way he interacted with us, or the lack thereof, I couldn't stand the guy. I was miserable. And I paid money to go visit, and I did it mostly to see my mom. So this guy said what he said, and I finally responded to him, and I said everything I ever thought about Paul Niemeyer. It, however, would take him about 2 or 3 months, about a month before his death, before he would take me out of the trust, okay? And what I later learned, or around that time anyway, I had a draft email from him. It was like a letter saying that, I think Stephen Niemeyer, his son from a second marriage, the pervert guy, the child predator guy that I've mentioned, that Stephen Niemeyer would be first executor, which is no surprise. I didn't really give a damn, whatever. I was going to be second executor, and my sister, Laura Niemeyer Rochelle, was going to be third executor. I think Stephen was to get a house. I was to get the house in Florida. I think it was owned by Ricky Niemeyer, his deceased brother of 2017, who died in 2017. And that Laura would get the uncle's trailer in Arkansas or something like that. This was a letter it was a copy of a letter that was sent to me by both Paul Niemeyer and Laura Niemeyer. I saved those emails in case I needed to refer back to it. I didn't really read all of it the first time when I got it the first time around. I just sent it to another email, just to save it. And I also it was my work email when I worked at DJK. And so around this time, just soon after I had told Paul Niemeyer what I thought of him, I had noticed that the email that I saved in my work account and including the forwarded email that I sent to another email account, they were all deleted. It's like they never existed. I didn't think much about it, but maybe a couple months later, this was around maybe 2019, early 2019, just after my mother died, February of 2019. And Paul Niemeyer would die a month later in March of 2019. I just happened to think about, well, let me ask the server of this company that I work for if they can find it. And they would get back to me another 30 days and say they couldn't find it. So why am I doing this video? I just want to make, not that I really will use this, I don't really expect to use this, but basically because Stephen Paul Niemeyer has hacked into my iCloud, hacked into my videos, images, emails, hacked into my email accounts. My sister has been known to do this to her children's email accounts years before. These people, I believe, have worked together to try to get information from people that they have a problem with, and not just including their children, but people like me as well. So my feeling is those emails were deleted. That forwarded email, the original email that was sent to me by Paul Niemeyer, and another email sent by Laura Niemeyer, the same draft. Those were all missing. They were all deleted, and I really think that Stephen Paul Niemeyer and or Laura Niemeyer had something to do with this, and that's why I'm documenting this.